Hello everyone and welcome to IT Knowledge Base. This time I would love to share some security related stuff, but a very informative and exciting video. In this video I will specifically talk about how to brute force SSH logins and passwords in the same way that hackers do, along with how to permanently fix those gaps or security countermeasures without thwarting and losing any configurations. This is somewhat short and specific video where I am exposing how easy it is to brute force any SSH connections and launch a DOS attack only if you remain unprotected or fail to follow the best practices to secure your SSH protocol or connection. There are many circumstances when you may mislay or forget to secure your Linux SSH service. Maybe you are happy with the default configuration, or maybe you think simply Linux updates and upgrades are enough to protect your servers from any sort of internal and most significant external attacks. Okay, let's jump into a quick demo about how to brute force SSH services and their domineering countermeasures. Why use PuTTY for SSH brute forcing? There are many great tools out there for performing SSH login brute forcing. There is Nmap SSH brute script, Metasploit SSH login scanner, THC Hydra, Red Login, and many others. The problem with these tools is that they are flagged by every decent antivirus or endpoint protection solutions. And in some situations that is a problem. Sometimes there are situations where we cannot use any of our physical pen testing tool or use any of our favorite hacking Linux distributions for that matter. Here are the instructions on how to use it. First, download the PowerShell module script from my GitHub repository and save it in your desired folder location. From the PowerShell, change the directory to that and import the SSH PuTTY brute PowerShell module. The usage is fairly very easy to understand. Just type your PowerShell script. Tag H represent your host name or IP address or text file of the list of IPs. Then add tag P for SSH listening port. Add tag U. Type a username or list of usernames text file. Add tag PW. Type the password if you are doubtful, or type the list of passwords file. Let's see some examples. For the sake of the demonstration, I am going to brute to one of my test production server. For example, I am going to follow the same instruction. This is an example of bruting single server IP with an already known username and a doubtful password. The second example is identical to the previous command but with a list of passwords. The third example is also following the previous example, but in addition, we use user and password list here. Let's do some demonstration. I have already downloaded the file in my desired location. Before importing the PowerShell module, make sure the PowerShell execution policy should be set to bypass on unrestricted. I have already bypassed. Now import the SSH brute force PowerShell module and launch the brute force examples one by one in action to our test production server where SSH service is running heavily. Example number 1, SSH PuTTY. Tag H for hostname. Tag P for port number. Tag U for username if you already known. Tag PW for password. And hit enter. If this script found the password, it will mark it as true, otherwise marked as false. The second example is identical to the previous command but with a list of passwords. And it says already compromised because I am using the same password list where the password is already in the list. The third example is also following the previous example, but in addition, we use users and password list here. When you provide all the users list and password list, just hit enter and see the magic of this script in action. I have already created a users and password list in the same folder where all the script files are located. You should compile yourself or download the large password file from the internet. Just for the sake of this demonstration, I have created a customized and short file for a successful demonstration. To get the results produced by the tool, simply navigate to the same directory where we are running the attack and type the following command: get-content ssh PuTTY brute log pipesign select-string set to true. Now here you get the result of all the users' password discoveries. The countermeasure: simply disabling password-based authentication and following other restrictions is compulsory required to prevent brute force targeting SSH services. I have already covered two highest prevalent videos: 19 tips securing SSH, installing, enabling and heavy-handed. And the second one is 3 steps to implement SSH key-based authentication to achieve maximum security in every SSH enabled Linux box. This is a must-have configuration to secure and prevent all types of internal and external attacks. Alright, that's all for the now. I am hoping you have found this video informative. Thank you for being here. I will see you in my upcoming future tech video content. I look forward to join you through this lecture. If you want to see more awesome training content, make sure you click that subscribe button. Click it so you don't miss it. Thank you.